If you're taking the IELTS exam anytime soon, you're watching the right video to apply small but effective tips to boost your speaking score. Hello everybody, it's me, the hero teacher with 11 years of experience in teaching English and IELTS. In this video, I'm going to give you several speaking tips that will immediately boost your IELTS score. First of all, be natural during the exam. As long as you are authentic and do not try to squeeze rehearsed grammar or vocabulary into your answers, the exam will go quite smoothly and you yourself will also enjoy it. 2. Practice tongue twisters 30 to 60 minutes before the exam. This will help you warm your tongue, which is very important, and also will help you with your pronunciation and speaking clarity. Having a good mood during the exam is extremely important. When your brain releases dopamine, the happiness chemical, your exam becomes more enjoyable for you. To increase dopamine in your brain, I suggest you to eat a banana or have dark chocolate right before the exam. It will help you feel happier, and if you're happier, your answers will be even more fluent and full of facts. Never repeat the question in your answer. It is fine doing it once or twice, but if you do it quite often, then the examiners will think you are trying to gain some time because you don't know the answer or you simply can't communicate in English fluently. If you think my videos are beneficial for you, please do consider subscribing, as it helps me grow and reach out to more people to help them with their exam preparation. Thank you for your time and support. The next tip is about Part 1. In this part, the examiner is more likely to ask you a question related to your past. And in this case, it is recommended to use a used to structure to talk about your past habits. This will give you extra points in your grammar score. Complex structures are always very appreciated by the examiners. For example, using conditional sentences, complex sentences with subordinating conjunctions will help you score quite high in the grammar band of the speaking part. Never memorize an answer for a particular question, because you are more likely to forget one part of that answer during the exam because of stress, because of excitement, and this will result in inconsistency between your sentences. And the examiners are so well trained to catch those inconsistencies and punish them strictly. Rely on your personal experience and stories. Never take somebody else's answer or story and present it as it is yours. This is something that we completely want to avoid during the exam. Don't force yourself to sound very smart during the exam. I mean, if you don't know an answer to a question, simply say it and tell the reason why you don't know it. Because if you always say yes, 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 even to the questions that you have never thought about before, then unfortunately you will lose that consistency and your answers will start sounding superficial. Again, this is something that we want to avoid during the exam. Always listen to the question carefully and understand it. For example, if the examiner is asking you about a particular profession that you have chosen to study now, don't talk about the profession itself, but talk about the moment that you decided to study this profession. Going off topic will badly hurt your score. In part 2, instead of writing full sentences, take a few phrases as your notes, because you're given just 1 minute and you don't want to waste it by writing a couple of large sentences that may not help you as much. Also, in part 2, it's very okay to look at your notes, because these are your own notes and you're not penalized by just looking at them. They are there to help you to provide a smooth story. Many candidates think in part 2 you have to talk about all the given prompts equally. The truth is, what you have to talk about is the main part of the question, and the prompts are there to help you speak in order about the question. But what you have to talk about is the question itself, and prompts just help you with the ideas. They are not as important as the question itself. Again, in part 2, aim to talk for a full 2 minutes. Although it does not significantly increase your score, it gives you the opportunity to present your language skills to the examiner, which we want to do because the examiners grade our language skills, and the more we present it, the better it is for them to understand how well we know the language. In part 2, try to provide an authentic story, because part 3 questions usually originate from your part 2 topic. So if you kind of lie in part 2, part 3 is going to be a nightmare, because you will not have enough ideas to support your lie that you gave in part 2. Part 3 is an academic discussion. So here, what we want to do is to be objective. These questions are not about you. These questions are about general topics. So you have to look more professional and use objective academic language, which will boost your score significantly. If the examiner stops you in part 1, that means you have either talked too much or you've gone off topic. Neither should panic you, because there is no way you can reverse that situation. So forget about that and focus on next questions and providing better answers. If the examiner does not look at you in the eye, that does not mean what you're saying is boring. They're just taking their notes as you speak, and they also have to choose questions to ask you. So don't worry about that. Keep talking. If you have no idea about the given question, instead of just staying silent, tell the examiner the truth and why you have never thought about this question, or how you have never been interested in that particular situation. For example, if the examiner asks you this particular question, is it easy to grow plants at home? What you're going to say is this: honestly speaking, I almost know nothing about growing plants. The reason for that, since my childhood, I have found this activity a little bit boring. Although my mom has been very interested in growing flowers and plants in our yard. So you have already said that this feels boring to you. That's why you don't have a solid answer to provide. This is more authentic for the examiner, rather than trying to sound smart and give unrealistic answers. Because unrealistic answers will always cause you to, lose concentration and create inconsistent sentences. Using moreover, however, furthermore, in addition to many times in the speaking exam will not boost your vocabulary score. Instead, because of excessive repetition, you will lose score in vocabulary. That's why try to use some synonyms for these words so that you can vary your vocabulary. You don't have to look very serious or laugh all the time during the exam. However, smiling and being friendly to the examiner will help you both experience a lovely exam. Remember, many candidates fail this test not because of lack of knowledge, but because of excessive unnecessary stress. If the examiner likes your answers, he or she will ask you more related questions, which is much easier than answering questions on various topics. So being authentic also helps you receive easier questions or more relatable questions. To develop your speaking significantly in English, make sure that you record your own voice and become your own examiner. This way, you will be aware of your grammar and vocabulary, and you will have full control over your language. Practice speaking non-stop before the exam. What you can do is very simple. Choose a topic and aim to speak non-stop for 3 or 4 minutes. And if you pause for even 2 seconds, restart the timer. This will allow you to speak under pressure fluently and accurately. I have personally done it, and it massively improved my results. Make an eye contact with the examiner. In this way, you will help the examiner understand that your story is authentic, and this will be a great sign of body language for your communication. In part 3, expand your ideas by bringing examples from your country or the world. This will validate your opinion and make your position really strong. Accent does not matter in IELTS speaking. As long as you speak clearly, that will be good enough for the examiners, because what they mark is your pronunciation and clarity. So they do not favor British English over other accents of English. Some candidates may think, yes, during the exam, British English is more appreciated, but I can personally validate that. No, this is completely nonsense. You can use your own accent as long as it's clear, as long as it's good enough for communication, you will never lose points on clarity and pronunciation. Don't use a grammar structure that you're not familiar with, because if you try to force that structure into your speaking, your mind will be stuck thinking of the correctness of that grammar structure, which will leave almost no room for the answer that you are providing. And this is too much stress for the brain during the exam. What you have to do is to perfect your grammar skills by just practicing as much as possible and use the ones that you are 100% sure about. And finally, enjoy the process. Why not to enjoy it? Like, many candidates feel really stressed about the speaking part. I find it quite hilarious because your stress, worrying, will not help you at all. Instead, as I told you in the beginning of this video, feeling good, feeling happy will help you score even higher than you expect. That's why just chill. It's gonna be really good. You've done already enough, and go and ace this exam. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in my next videos. Bye bye.